See that squirrel there? Now I'll tell you something crazy about that squirrel there. That squirrel functions similarly to a business. Yeah, you heard me right. Of all the things, the two exist in completely different realms, yet somehow they're interrelated. So, as many of you know, I recently attended the Tony Robbins Business Mastery Conference, and I also have 2 degrees in biology. And you'll really start to see when you expand your horizons how so many areas of knowledge in this world are interconnected, kind of like dots in one giant spider web. And it's then that you'll begin to see a bigger picture and realize what you as an individual can do to create the change you wish to see in the world. So, for me, I'm a marine biologist who originally strived to take a research approach to conservation. However, after publishing a paper that nobody read, I decided instead to utilize the power of storytelling and videography to inspire and educate people. I then discovered along the way that most people are disconnected from nature due to their lack of spirituality, and also that transformation and healing at the individual level leads to healing and transformation at the collective level. So, in my videos, I also show people how to reach their spiritual potential and enhance their well-being, making the world a better place in return. And I'm able to achieve all of this and make a living from it by taking entrepreneurial approaches to conservation. So here we have nature, connected to spirituality, both connected to digital media, connected to business, connecting back to nature. And then Tony always says that business is a spiritual game, so there's even interconnections within this web. Now, for the remainder of this video, I want to explain to you how business functions like a living organism, because the interrelation between these two is not as obvious. And once you begin to understand this, your horizons expand and you'll see what's possible for you to achieve in your own life and in the world. Okay, so for starters, it was Charles Darwin who said that it's not the strongest nor the most intelligent species that survives, but rather the one that can best adapt to change. So during times of crisis, change, or competition, those with less favorable mutations are eliminated by Mother Nature because they are not able to accommodate, right? Well, the same goes for a business. During times of crisis, change, and competition, the free market eliminates the weaker businesses, and the ones that produce the most value and can adapt are the ones that survive. And in order to survive, both a business and an organism have basic needs that must be met. So for a business, it's things like customers, marketing, revenue, and for an organism, it's shelter, food, and water. They also both must be on the lookout for things that threaten their survival, right? So for an organism, they must be aware of predators and changes in the environment, and a business must be aware of the competition and changes in the economy. In both scenarios, though, those challenges can serve as a catalyst for innovation. There's a saying that crisis brings opportunity, and this is true both in business and in nature. A crisis gives a species the opportunity to evolve as smarter and more intelligent, just as a crisis in the economy gives a business the opportunity to innovate and to develop better strategies to meet the customer's needs. Of course, though, in both cases, the business and the organism can die if they're unable to adapt. Also, something that Tony talks about is how a business goes through life cycles similar to how a human life does. Now, I could really go into depth here, but in a nutshell, every business and baby is born, and from there, it's a race for survival. When it grows into a toddler, it can get into more trouble, right? Because it's mobile, it's walking, and it's talking on its own. Then, when it grows into a teenager, it becomes overconfident and takes huge risks. Now, this is a stage that most businesses blow up in because they can get into a lot of trouble here, just as a human teenager does. To get to the young adult stage, you decide on all the stupid stuff you're no longer going to do, right? Then you begin to anticipate the future and make more committed choices. And once you reach that zone of maximization and maturity, that's when you're in your prime. Now, this is a time of reward and great certainty where you develop a sustainable system for meeting the needs of the community and the customers. But there's a limitation here, right? Prime doesn't last forever. If you don't market and innovate, you start to age. And this is when sales and profits start to dip, and in business, you can work to get back into prime, but over time, you're going to age and die. Now, the reason why these insights are so vital is because a lot of environmental activists and scientists are trying to persuade business leaders to care about the planet, yet they're not speaking in their language of business. Rather, they're speaking to them in their language of science. You see, a business just wants to survive and thrive too, so you can't influence them by threatening their survival. Instead, you must reframe their mindsets and have them view the situation we're in not just as like an economic crisis, but rather an economic opportunity. Remember how I said that crisis brings opportunity? Well, by innovating and by adapting, there are ways that businesses now are generating more revenue than ever before. So this time can be seen as a real opportunity to invest in the future. And as you'll see, those businesses who fail to adapt will become extinct. And when you make that apparent to businesses, that is when they will change their ways, because sustainability is where the future is heading. It's no longer about meeting the needs of the customer, but also that of the planet. Because now, customers are becoming more eco-conscious. There's a hockey player, and his name is Wayne Gretzky, and he says he doesn't skate to where the puck is, but rather to where it's going, and that is why he's so successful at hockey. Well, the same goes for a business. In order to win here, you must go where the puck is going, because by the time you get to where the puck is, it's going to be too late and you're not going to score. I hope this message came across clearly. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it, so please leave a comment below. I will be responding to all of them. Also, if you'd like to support me and my work, you can donate to my Patreon. The link is also in the description below. I have a goal of getting 5 patrons by the end of October. But yeah, thank you for joining me today in this talk. Much love to you all, and thanks.